Disney's Lakeshore Lodge continues to take shape at Walt Disney World, and in this news episode, we have new information about confirmed dining. It's Tuesday, August 4th, and this morning, Disney Parks blog published new information about Disney's Lakeshore Lodge, specifically the dining and spaces that will be coming to this new resort. We saw new information in previous news episodes about this new Walt Disney World property, which, if you're not familiar, is a deluxe level accommodation that's being constructed on Bay Lake. In fact, if you go to Bay Lake, you can see it is definitely getting closer to construction with a targeted opening of summer 2027. But in this most recent Disney Parks blog article, while previous articles talked a little bit more about the overall aesthetic and theme of the resort, and more specifically the pool space and water play areas that will be a part of Disney's Lakeshore Lodge, today's Parks blog article has all to do with the dining and fireworks views that will be a part of this new property. There's kind of one of each different type of dining experience that you can get at this property, which I'll talk about in just a second. But the article first talks about the lobby and your Lakeshore Lodge arrival. So you're going to step into this lobby and be immersed in what Disney is calling the sights and sounds of nature. This is going to have, quote, spectacular floor-to-ceiling windows that will welcome natural sunlight and showcase sweeping views of the wetlands outdoor recreation area, allowing the local flora and fauna to flow seamlessly into the architecture, artwork, and ambience. And this ties into what we've been hearing about this property, which it is going to really immerse you in nature. It's meant to play into the local flora and fauna. It's meant to have these views of nature outside. So you're going to get these very large windows. You're going to have a lot of outdoor spaces, and you're going to get that inspiration from Walt Disney Animation Studios' Pocahontas, where you're going to have, now Disney is saying, a shimmering fiber optic river that will illuminate the floor, and overhead a blown glass Colors of the Wind sculpture with hundreds of suspended glass sleeves that will fill the space with movement, color, and wonder. Very similar to Island Tower at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, they're going to also have natural materials that are going to be incorporated into the lobby's design. There's going to be custom tapestries inspired by Pocahontas's landscapes and thoughtfully crafted furnishings with accents of river-recovered cypress wood. So it seems like when you walk into that lobby, you're already going to get this feeling of nature. You're going to see those inspirations from Pocahontas, and you're going to have this, again, feeling of being connected to the landscape around you. So there are 3 distinctive dining experiences that Disney Parks blog also announced today, and these range from quick service to table service to a pool bar. So let's start with Moonglade. So this is going to be along the lakefront. Again, if you take a look at Bay Lake, you can see this building being constructed, very similar to how Narcoossee's is positioned on the water over at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. So Moonglade is going to, quote, offer an enchanting table service dining experience where stunning water views are part of every course. Here, guests will enjoy thoughtfully prepared dishes featuring seasonal and locally sourced ingredients. Floor-to-ceiling windows will frame the gracefully arching cypress trees along Bay Lake, where artful lighting and nuanced design reflect the interplay of light and shadow. So when you think of Moonglade, I'm getting this impression that we are going to have a more high-end signature dining experience similar to a Narcoossee's. It's hard to tell what the price range will be or what the menu will be, but when you think about these thoughtfully prepared dishes, you think about this, these floor-to-ceiling windows, the positioning on Bay Lake, that implies that, especially if you're at the window, there is a very likely chance that during the Magic Kingdom fireworks, you will have at least a partial view behind, Disney's Contemporary Resort, and Bay Lake Tower will be blocking the majority of the way, but above those towers, you should have a view of Magic Kingdom fireworks. So that's your table service restaurant coming to Disney's Lakeshore Lodge. The quick service location is going to be called Bay Lake Provisions, and this is going to, quote, be the perfect spot to fuel up for a day of adventure or relax and refresh after a poolside afternoon. This all-day quick service marketplace will offer specialty coffees and fresh fare in an inviting open kitchen atmosphere. And because no space is complete without a little hidden magic, guests can find woodland critters inspired by beloved Disney classics throughout the space. And I'll try to link to the article in this episode. You can also head to Disney Parks blog directly and take a look at some of the concept art that's shown. But it does have this, open floor open floor plan. You see these really large floor to ceiling windows with the natural light coming in. There's a really interesting, looks like a staircase around the base of a tree going up to the next level. So, as I'm looking at this, it seems like perhaps the lobby will be on the second or the third floor, and Bay Lake Provisions will be down on the first floor. Very similar setup to, if you think about Jumbo House at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, or even Kidani Village, or Disney's Riviera Resort, Disney's Boardwalk. A lot of these places you enter on the second or the third level, and then you descend into lower levels to get to some of the dining and shopping and other recreation activities. So that's not confirmed here, but just based on the concept art, that's what it looks like it'll be. And here again is your standard quick service location with a lot of indoor seating. Looks like a lot of wood that's going to be both along, like wood paneling along the walls with these murals inspired by Pocahontas. You have some flora that's incorporated into these archways behind these benches. You're going to have like these wood seats, wood tables. It feels very much like it's connecting to the environment around it. And the third and final dining location that's confirmed for this new resort is Paint Out Point Bar and Grill. Here's what Disney Parks blog has to say about this one. Quote, enjoy shareable bites and specialty beverages while soaking in the natural beauty that surrounds the wetlands. Inspired by the art of plein air painting, this pool bar will showcase a collection of original artwork created by Imagineers as they drew inspiration from the Bay Lake landscapes. It's the end of that quote. And if you look at this, it is a large, just based looking at the concept art, it is a large covered bar and grill that's completely open on all four sides. It reminds me of the Three Bridges restaurant over at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. And how that one, you sit down, it's a covered space. There's ceiling fans, there's lighting, but it's open to the environment around it. So you also get the natural airflow coming through the restaurant. So this is similarly going to be a bar and a grill, and it has communal tables. It looks like it has more like sofa seating with coffee tables and a central bar with stools or with high top chairs that are lined around the bar. So you'll be able to sort of sit here, relax, grab something to drink, grab something to eat, and then head back to the wetlands, or just enjoy a casual dining experience here. And I can sort of see, you have to zoom in, but you can see some of that artwork they talk about that was created by Imagineers, and I always love that. So that concludes dining. The last thing that was confirmed in this new Parks blog article from this morning is a new space that's going to be called Dandelion Terrace. And just based on the artwork, it seems like this might be either the top floor or one of the higher floors. It seems like it is above tree level, the way that the Imagineers have designed the artwork for this. They are very tall ceilings, and the concept art shows families enjoying Dandelion Terrace, this indoor space, at night with fireworks in the distance. Again, you can see in the distance Disney's Contemporary Resort and Bay Lake Tower with fireworks just above it. But here you have a higher vantage point for a little easier viewing of those fireworks. So here's what Disney Parks blog has to say about Dandelion Terrace. Quote, the lounge will be home to a 2-story gallery of archival artwork from Disney classics like Fantasia, complete with whimsical dandelion light fixtures that add a touch of magic to the space. Soft lighting and sweeping views create the perfect setting to slow down and enjoy the nighttime spectacular. That's the end of that quote. Now, this is not confirmed in this article, but if we've learned anything from Island Tower, this is almost definitely going to be a space that will be restricted just to guests staying at Lakeshore Lodge. If you do not have a confirmed resort reservation at Disney's Lakeshore Lodge, my guess is you will not be able to go into this space because it is a premium space and it does offer comfortable indoor viewing of the nighttime fireworks in the distance. Island Tower has those open breezeways or those open terraces that face Seven Seas Lagoon, and you can't even get into the elevator at Island Tower without scanning your Magic Band or room key and having a confirmed reservation that day at the resort. I think you'll see a similar setup for Dandelion Terrace and for Disney's Lakeshore Lodge, that there may be some sort of gated elevator access to the higher floors. Again, if you enter on the third floor, I'm I'm betting you'll be able to go down to the first or the second floor if you need it. But, going up to the higher levels, I get this impression that, although they're not saying it, and it's not in this article, just my prediction is you will probably need a reservation here in order to get to Dandelion Terrace. That's the latest news from Disney's Lakeshore Lodge. We'll, I'm sure, get a lot more information about the specific opening date, and the room types will likely be next, as well as what those rooms will look like. And then we'll also, I'm sure, since this is going to be at least part of Disney Vacation Club in some way, well, maybe not every room will be a Disney Vacation Club studio or villa. It does seem like at least a large portion of this resort will be a Disney Vacation Club property. So we'll also likely get more information about when you can buy into Disney Vacation Club at Disney's Lakeshore Lodge sometime within the next few months. That's it for this news episode. Thanks as always subscribing to Imagination Skyway. Remember that you can get ad-free episodes and bonus content at patreon.com/imaginationskyway. And remember, as always, to keep moving forward.